Under Night In-Birth EXE Latest, I'm going to refer to it as Unil for the rest of this video, is a 2D anime fighter / visual novel. Let me start by saying that I've not played the previous versions of this game, so the story and characters were completely unfamiliar to me, which turned out to be a bit of a problem for me in terms of enjoying and understanding the story. Fans of the series will likely have a different experience from a story perspective than me. The main protagonists of the game are Hyde and Lynn, although there are 18 other playable fighters. The story is set in a universe where humans with special powers called existence, EXS, are targeted by monsters called voids. Once a month on the Hollow Night, voids will enter the world to feed on humans with EXS. If a human survives the attack, they can become an in-birth, a human able to control their EXS power. Hyde is an in-birth trained by Lynn and in possession of the legendary Insulator Sword, and together they must defeat the powerful demon called Paradox. The fighting roster is made up of other in-births, voids and other members of organizations with their own agendas. The story and lore is actually pretty interesting. The problem is that I had to read a lot of the background online to get an idea of the plot. The game doesn't do a great job of explaining what's going on. There is an arcade mode where you choose your fighter, and every few battles you're provided with a dialogue scene. And there is another mode called Chronicles, which is basically a visual novel mode. After reading up on the story online, it started making much more sense and I became interested in the different characters. But it's a shame to enjoy the game's story I had to look externally to figure out what's going on. While I'm talking about story, the Chronicles mode contains 22 stories, each focusing on one character. And each story is split into 1 to 4 chapters. They provide some additional information on each character and how they arrived in the same location on the Hollow Night that you play through in the arcade mode. I found this mode quite dull at times. The story was interesting, but it was pure text and no gameplay, and it was overly descriptive. I also noticed spelling mistakes on occasion. I would have preferred an approach like Injustice's story mode, where there is story followed by a fight and then more story. It would have broken up the overly long dialogue. The gameplay is where Unil shines. I'm not a 2D fighter connoisseur, but I've always been a fan of the genre. Unil's fast action made the arcade mode a lot of fun to play. I found getting to grips with the game and learning the characters was straightforward, but mastering all the fighters and systems will take a lot of practice. The different fighters range from fast and agile with weak attacks to slow and strong as you expect in a fighting game, but the style, character design and personalities made me want to experiment with all of them. There's also a score attack, time attack, survival mode and tutorial modes to play through. Completing every mode will provide hours of playtime. As I was playing a review copy of the game, I wasn't able to test the online mode. I tried to search for matches but didn't find anyone online at the times I was online. The graphics looked great and I really liked the anime style. The soundtrack was decent with some catchy J-pop tunes. Overall, Unil is a solid fighter and I really enjoyed playing the game. It played perfectly on the Vita and I found no slowdown or any issues at all. The story is interesting, but others new to the series may have the same experience as me and find it hard to follow what's going on without going online to look for information. If you like fighting games like BlazBlue, then you'll likely have a good time with Unil. So guys, are you planning to pick up Unil? And what's your favourite fighter on the Vita? Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.